Russia's invasion of Ukraine has destabilized both world order and the global economy. Surging oil prices and increasing financial pressure for Canada and Western allies of energy exporting giant Russia are adding to uncertainty about the global economic outlook. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that in addition to sending military aid to Ukraine, Canada will ban the import of Russian crude oil. Canada is the world's fourth largest oil producer, right behind Russia, but Canada still imported almost $300 million worth of Russian energy products last year, according to Statistics Canada. However, one expert says that even without sanctions, Russia's invasion will increase the shortage of oil and gas, driving up prices. With us to discuss energy security as national security is Dr. Brenda Shaffer, Senior Advisor for Energy at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Ma'am, welcome to Forum Daily.
Thank you.
So let's start with how the invasion of Ukraine is affecting energy security around the world.
So the invasion and the resulting policies are really giving an unprecedented jolt to the international energy markets, especially oil markets. This is bigger than the 1973 oil crisis in terms of how much volumes are being disrupted. We've never really ever experienced anything like this, where maybe 7 to 8% of global oil will be removed from the market. We have both Russian oil and inadvertently oil from Kazakhstan, because most of it is exported on the Black Sea in Russian ports. So we're really in an unprecedented oil market.
And these sanctions are likely to make things worse. But how will these sanctions affect Canada's oil supply in particular?
Well, obviously, high oil prices are good for Canadian producers. It's good for, obviously, for the Canadian economy. But on the other hand, what we're having so much disruption, through to the global economy, that we might be very close to a global recession. So this might be a very short-lived, increase in revenue to Canadian oil producers, but certainly in the long run, this can easily trigger a global recession.
Some very concerning information there, Doctor. Well, in an article, you suggest that Western governments need to change their approaches to energy policy. So how can Western governments go about doing that?
Well, 5 years ago, or even, the United States up to a year ago, and Europe up to 5 years ago, it was clear that energy security is part of national security, and that you have to provide, for energy security in order to have your independence, in order for, Western life to continue, in order to have a stable global economy as well. Well, about a year, definitely with the Biden administration in the United States, the last European Commission, they've decided to, really ignore the dynamics of energy security. We'll learn a lot tonight. Tonight there's a State of the Union address of the president, and so far from the signals that are being sent out, the U.S. the administration isn't thinking about doing something new, in terms of to incentivize more U.S. production. But really, U.S. and Canada are maybe some of the, especially the United States, one of the only places that in a matter of 3 to 4 months could make a difference in the state of the oil market and really, rev up production. And so far, all the policies of the U.S. administration have been to actually suppress U.S. production.
And we know the Biden administration is working to secure a nuclear deal with Iran, which is known for its oil supply. So would this potential deal increase the world's oil supply in turn?
Well, in the short run, not really, because a lot of their oil is already being sold, especially to China. Most of the oil that they have at sea, the stored oil, is not of the same grades that could replace the Russian oil. A lot of it is condensate, which is a very light oil or liquid gas. And really, who's really benefiting right now from the situation of the oil market is China, because they're able to buy Iranian oil and Russian oil at a steep discount. Probably soon they'll be able to buy more Kazakhstani oil at a discount. So the only major market benefiting from this situation of the oil prices is China, and it's probably not exactly the goal of the policies. Essentially, even if oil isn't explicitly sanctioned, companies, banks, financial institutions are so averse to even touching anything right now that might somehow be sanctionable, that they're staying away really from anything Russian. And so we're having really essentially oil sanctioned. And also the divestments of companies like Shell, BP, that are pulling out of Russia. So that's, stock value that's really in billions of dollars that's just being wiped out overnight, and we're seeing already the results in the stock markets.
All right, Dr. Shaffer, thank you again for your insight today on Forum Daily.
Thank you.